Hi, my name is Emma Garot and I work as a production and sustainability manager at Gina Tricot. Today we will visit Renewcell together with you guys. Hi, so nice to be here, finally inside the factory of Renewcell. Renewcell is a great partner for us. We can find a way to make new garments out of our textile wastage. I think it's really great. Right now we are soon launching a new collection with statement pieces made from Circulose. So we can both be a donator and we can also be a buyer and include the Circulose in our collections. So this collaboration is a perfect choice from many perspectives. I mean, first of all, we've been donating textile wastage from our denim production, and to be able to buy that back and make new garments but in other shapes, like in this case it's jersey garments, and we are not making less fashion or less design. It's the same process as we normally have, which we think is super good and easy for us. First of all, our textile wastage are donated to Renewcell from production country, which is Turkey and Bangladesh, where we produce our denims. When the textile wastage comes here to Kristinehamn, where we are now in Sweden, the textile wastage turns to pulp, or the Circulose, as Renewcell makes here. After that, the pulp is transported to production country once more, and it's made to fiber, and it's then later on made to garments and then back to Sweden where we sell it. Circularity is the only future we have. We can't continue the way we do. We need to find out sources where we are not compromising with the future and our future generations' needs. We need to find a way to make fashion circular and sustainable. Tell us, what are you doing here at Renewcell?
I'm Chief Growth Officer at Renewcell, and as such I take care of marketing, branding development, and also our strategic brand partners, long-term collaborations with our brand partners, and making them successful in making fashion circular.
Tell us about Renewcell. How did it start? What is the story?
Renewcell is a sustain tech company that got started in 2012. A group of researchers at the Royal Institute of Technology have been working with cellulose processes all their lives, got to thinking about, look, there's a lot of cellulose waste in the cotton in our clothes that we put into landfill and incinerators all over the world every day. Insane amounts of waste going on. What if we can take those cellulose molecules and put them back into making new clothes instead, so that we can avoid growing more cotton or growing more trees and using new trees to make those fibers again. They started then working at their lab in Stockholm, thinking about how to make this at a big scale, cooking up the recipes and just testing the concept out. And as they started proving more and more that this thing worked, you can actually take textile waste and make new fibers out of it and new clothes. They started scaling up, and that's why we're here today.
Can you take us through the whole process step by step?
Absolutely. So what we do is we take in worn out clothes, like the ones you see behind us here in big bales. They come on to our first step, which is the dry step, where we start by shredding the materials. We need to get it down to shorter fibers so that we can actually do something useful with it later. It's a dry step. We also remove buttons and zippers there and take that out because that doesn't become recycled in our process, but you can sell it to scrap metal. After this initial shredding step, you get the fluff, and that fluff we then put into the wet processing. That's where the magic happens, in a series of steps where we use temperature and various chemicals in order to adjust the properties of the cellulose in terms of viscosity, reactivity, and brightness. We need to have the right properties so that you can make a nice new fiber again in the end. We also separate out the small amounts of polyester that we're able to handle. That becomes a reject. You can't pass that on because it doesn't make a good cellulose fiber in the end. But when that's done, we have a finished pulp product floating in water, and the only thing left to do then is to get the water out. Last step of the process is drying, where we use heat and pressure to get the water out, and what you end up with in the end are square sheets of cellulose pulp. And we call that material Circulose. Now with this pulp, you can then, at our customers in the later stage of the value chain, dissolve the pulp, extrude them, and then you have a new fresh fiber.
I mean, how is it possible to do, new fibers, new clothes out of worn out clothes?
Well, it's a great question, and until now the fashion industry hasn't really been able to answer that in a satisfactory way. We waste most of our clothes every day. But with our new process, we're able to take these worn out clothes and get at the cellulose molecules that are in them. All cotton is cellulose molecules. And that's what you need to make a new fiber. But you need to make it possible also to make that new fiber. You need to process it into a product that you can put back together again to a new fiber. Because the problem is with recycling options that we've had until now is that you always get a shorter and shorter fiber. Yeah, you can only go shorter. But with this kind of chemical recycling process that we do at Renewcell, we're actually able to take those cellulose molecules and put them back together again. So you get the long fiber, and you can get the new thread, and you can get the new yarn and new clothes out of it.
Long-lasting clothes.
Long-lasting.
Fiber is
Exactly. And that's the whole point with this, getting back to the same quality as it was originally.
Can it be recycled again and again and again?
Yes.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yes, absolutely. With the type of recycling process that we've designed here, we can do it over and over again.
Nice. So Harald, tell us, what is Circulose?
Circulose is the brand name for our product. It's what we call the dissolving pulp that we make out of recycled clothes. What we're doing with Circulose then is making the exact same raw material feedstock for making viscose fibers as the industry has traditionally done from forests instead. The only difference is that we make it 100% from worn out clothes and textile waste. So that way, without really noticing anything in the finished clothes, you get recycled material in there. And then we close the loop, make the circle go around again.
Is it ready to use for making new garments?
Oh, absolutely. The whole point of Circulose is exactly that, getting a high quality, virgin quality fiber out of recycled textile clothes, and we've proven it time and again with Gina Tricot and other brands that you can make really nice, perfectly similar clothes to the virgin variety with Circulose. The big deal with Circulose is that you can also do it at scale. Look at the piles of clothes that we're working with here. If we're going to have any sort of positive impact on the fashion industry, we can't just do small collections here and there. We have to do a continuous process, and we have to do it at big scale over time. That's what's exciting about the current stage of Renewcell and Circulose, is that together with brand partners like Gina Tricot, we're actually doing this in commercial, industrial scale now. So yes, we're open for business and we're doing it, and we'll scale as quickly as possible.
What makes Circulose special compared to other circular and sustainable materials?
Well, it's the combination of being able to take circular, that is textile to textile recycled materials, and get that virgin equivalent quality. It's really just that, and that you can use it then in the existing value chain, in the existing products that are out there. So in one sense, what's special about Circulose is that it isn't very special. You won't be able to see or feel in the clothes that it's anything different from what you usually get when you get the viscose or other man-made cellulose fiber clothing. Circulose doesn't change anything there, and that means that we can get to scale quicker. It's easier for brands like Gina Tricot to integrate the material. It's easier for consumers to understand what it is. That's what makes Circulose special, is that we don't need to accept compromise or change very much in order to get to circularity.
So where do you collect all these garments, and where do you get all this material?
We have great help from sorters of textile waste or donated textiles. So works like, well, you're a consumer, you go into either Gina Tricot or somewhere else where they collect textiles. Then the collector looks at the clothes, look, can we sell this vintage? And if you can't, that goes into another pile that's not for vintage clothing. That pile is what we're buying from. So we're actually buying textile waste sorted out that works with our recycling process. So it's high in cotton content, we can take it and we can make new clothes out of it. And it's very important for us that we're not competing with the vintage stuff. that should stay in circulation for as long as possible. But when once a piece of clothing is too worn out, too out of style, too whatever for anybody to wear, we're there to recycle it back into new clothes and replace virgin materials after that.
Wow, it seems like you have found a way to make treasure out of waste.
Well, the treasure is always in there. I guess we found the map to getting at it somehow. I mean, these are molecules that are precious. Took a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of resources just to making these clothes in the beginning and getting those molecules up and about. We're just making sure that we can save them for another round in the process.
Soon we have a very nice possibility for you as a customer to join the circular movement of the fashion industry. We will have like collecting boxes in the stores where you as a customer can hand in your worn out jeans or your worn out cotton blouse or sweater. So please bring what you have so we can together make a more circular fashion industry for tomorrow. What does the future look like for Renewcell? What is your goal?
Our goal is, of course, to replace as much virgin materials as possible in the global fashion industry. So we have right now a goal of getting to 360,000 metric tons of textiles recycled every year in that capacity by 2030, and that means 600 million t-shirts. If all of that is t-shirts, that would 600 million t-shirts that we can keep circulating in there. But we don't want to stop there. This industry will grow to 160 million tons by 2030. So we need to keep scaling, keep going faster, and together with brands like Gina Tricot, we'll get there as soon as possible, because this industry needs solutions now.
Exactly. How many people are working here in this factory?
We have, I think, 25 people working in our Kristinehamn plant, and in our new plant that we're building in Sundsvall, also in Sweden, on the Baltic Sea coast, we'll have about 100 people working. It's a way bigger plant, that one, and this place in Kristinehamn is what made that possible. We're now taking the next step up there. So yeah, I started in the company as employee number 4 back in 2017, and now we're 125 people, and excited about taking the next step.
Wow, what a journey you made in such a short time.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. It's been fun, and it's it's so great to work with partners like Gina Tricot and all our suppliers and all our fantastic colleagues to actually make fashion circular.
We are happy to work with you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.